Hey, middle school volunteers, man, I am so excited for this coming Sunday night because we are taking another week in our series of Jeremiah, where last week we were talking all about modern idolatry and that list of priorities and where do we put God and what goes above God sometimes. This week, we're going to be asking the question of when it comes to Christian rules or things that we should do, why should we do them? Like, what's the purpose behind obeying God? And we're going to get into this idea of when we obey God, there's really kind of two motivations that we can do when it comes to our obedience. One is because of a sense of obligation. He's God, I should do this. I'm obligated to do it. The other is a sense of thankfulness and worship, to where we look at what Jesus did on the cross, we look at what all that God has done for us, and then we think, how can I do anything less? This is my way to say thank you. And so we're going to be weaving that idea through the book of Jeremiah. We're going to grab some scripture out of Romans, that sort of thing. But what I think will be really fun is with your group, as you are kind of discussing, as you get into small groups this Sunday, I think it would be really, really great to do two things. First off, I think it would be great to once again bring up the conversation that you had last week about idolatry and just kind of refreshing students on where their heart is and what certain things come up above God now that they've had a week to think about it. So do that firstly. Secondly, what I think would be so great is just to start kind of prying out of, like, so many of our students, so many of our middle schoolers have grown up in a Christian home or a Christian context. And so they probably know a lot of these rules. And what I'm hoping for you to do is start kind of drawing out of them, why do they follow those rules? Is it just to keep mom and dad off their back? Is it because they feel like they should? That's what you're supposed to do because it's the right thing and they've never really thought about it. Whatever it might be, kind of start drawing that out. And what we want to do is really start getting all of our kids thinking, why do Christians do these things? And it can be anything. And then we can start getting into that idea of, like, it's all because we're thankful to God for what he's done. So with that, I'm really excited. There was one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. You've probably heard me say it already so many times, and maybe you're getting sick and tired of me saying it. Youth ministry is all about planting seeds and watering. It's so much time of not seeing any results. And you are so faithful at that. You are so good at that. And I want to give you this encouragement that at times you will see results. So I took a picture of it because it's now hanging on my fridge and it will probably hang on my fridge forever. But one of the girls from my student ministry at my last church in Arizona, she was in Megan's small group, which if you don't know Megan, she's my wife. She was in Megan's small group and she was in our student ministry. And she said this. She wrote us a note because she's graduating college this year. She said, Adam and Megan, man, I miss you guys so much. You guys made the biggest impact on my life, and I will be forever thankful to you for coming to Sierra Vista. The advice and love you showed me quite literally saved my life multiple times and followed me through the last 3 years of college. Thank you for taking the time to answer my phone calls, talking to me before college, and all those conversations have stayed with me and offered so much guidance to me and others. Anyways, I love you guys and can't wait to visit one day when I'm not completely broke. Haha. And I want to give you the encouragement. She is a weird, strange exception. Most all students will not write back to their youth pastor or their small group leader and say, you changed my life. And that's just because we're all not that emotionally aware and invested. I haven't written back to my youth pastor ever. But you are making a difference. You are making such an impact in these kids' lives. And I am so thankful that it's you. that these kids will look back and say, you're the one that made that big difference in my life.
Right.
So keep this up, guys. I love getting to serve with you, and I cannot wait to serve alongside you this Sunday night.